Hey everybody, I'm gonna talk you through the second question in the horizontal quiz, horizontal projectile motion quiz review packet 2. I'm not gonna write the question on the screen, but hopefully you have it in front of you, and I will read the question aloud so you can at least hear it. The question is: an apple is rolling off of a cliff. It rolls at 13 meters per second. The apple hits the ground moments later with a velocity of 51.66 meters per second at 75.43 degrees below the horizontal. We are tasked to determine the height of the cliff. So, shouldn't be too tricky to do. The first thing we have to do is to get this pen, is to write down some of our information. So, as always, we have our vertical, we have our horizontal. Some of our vertical information, always right away, we can write 9.81 meters per second squared. We can write our VI, y is 0 meters per second. We can write, really nothing, Vx is 13 meters per second. So I know a couple things about my triangle. First of all, I know Vx, 13. I also know my hypotenuse is 51.66 with an angle of 75.43 degrees. So this arrow that I'm drawing right now represents my VFY. And this is something I'm going to have to find because ultimately my goal for this question is to find dy. So that's what we're trying to find. In order to do that, I have to use only vertical information because dy is a vertical piece of information. So I need to find at least one more piece. I need to find either the time it takes or I need to find VFY. But really, it looks like my trick is going to be to find VFY first because I don't really have a means right now of finding time. So to find VFY, the easiest way, there's two ways you can do it. You could using sine and cosine. But I'm going to use the trick that I have two sides of the triangle already. So I can just use Pythagorean theorem. Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Well, my c is the 51.66. So 51.66 squared equals, I know side A, 13 squared plus, it'll be my VFY squared. That's what I'm going to solve for, so I have to subtract 51.66 squared minus 13 squared will be my VFY squared. So I turn to my calculator, 51.66 squared minus 13 squared is going to be a VFY squared of 2499.76. Take the square root, I get a VFY of 49.997, which I can round right up to a nice even 50.00 meters per second. So my VFY is 50 meters per second. Now that I have that information, my VFY, I can use A, VI, VF, and D to find my D. VFY squared, look at my formulas, VFY squared equals VIY squared plus 2ay dy. Solving for dy. My VIY is 0, that term goes away. VFY squared, 50 squared, equals 2 times negative 9.81 times dy, what I'm looking for. So 50 squared is 2500. 2500 equals 2 times negative 9.81, negative 19.62. 62 times dy. Trying to solve for dy, so I divide negative 19.62 by both sides. And I get 2500 over 19.62. And I'm going to get a dy of 127.42 meters. Really, I get a negative number, and it's always safe to keep it as a negative number. So I'll do that. But the question's really asking how high it is. Technically, it should be a positive number, but again, I'll never take off points for that. So hopefully this helped answer the question of number 2. How high is a cliff if you have the initial given information, 13 meters per second, and it hits the ground 75.43 degrees below the horizontal with a speed of 51.66 meters per second. That would correlate with a cliff of 127.4 meters. I know you all do really well on the quiz, and good to go.